How much does yesterday kind of take maybe some of the burden off of what this team has been feeling over the past couple of days?
Well, anytime we win, especially at this point in the season where we are in this race, you feel good about it. Whether it's yesterday or, winning in Orlando or whatever, it all feels good because we know we need wins, especially at this point in the season.
I know that was one of those games where people would say you quote unquote needed or had to win or should have won. But is there a glimpse into that game to where what you saw from your team is something you can carry forward for the remaining?
Yeah, I mean, I said it afterwards. I tell you what, the way we sprayed the ball in that second half, I mean, it was beautiful. We have to play that way. We don't have a lot of guys that are just going, hey, go ahead and go get it. We have to have great spacing, great body movement, great ball movement. All those things really, really matter to us, and so we have to have a feel of when we need to be able to get off the ball to get guys great looks. And then, on the flip side, I tell you what, our contests were pretty good. We did a decent job, not great, a decent job of trying to put bodies on bodies because they've been rebounding really well on the offense end of the floor. And we did a decent job of protecting the paint. I think they had 34 points in the paint for the game. So, every game you step out and play, you can use for growth. And the last thing I'd say is, we obviously, especially down the stretch, but we have to play a little different with Malik, and with Malik being out and Kevin being out, and in that second Dallas game, losing Malik early in the game, we went through some growing pains during that game. Down the stretch, we had some empty possessions that we wish we could have had back, but it was just a matter of us not necessarily having that group out there that long and trying certain things, attacking certain matchups and stuff like that we just weren't quite used to. And so great learning experience for us in that game, and we did a better job executing our stuff in the Utah game.
Is that the biggest concern for you, is navigating that time that you have specifically without Malik?
Biggest concern
in terms of like going forward and how obviously you have the two-man game. We talked last night about obviously how much Domas relies on Kevin and Malik in that regard, but then Malik's obviously so much more of a playmaker. And
Malik made the game easier for a lot of us, and I mean, he can score it at a high level. He had 39 and when Foxy was out in Minnesota, and so you're not replacing him, but having said that, we got to kind of do it by committee. It's the next man up, and we have to even be sharper with our spacing. We have to be sharper with our pace. We have to be sharper with all of our offensive attributes that we have on the table in order to try to make up for the ground that we're going to miss without Kevin and or Malik on the floor. And then, our execution has to be on point too. We have to make sure that we know who's bringing the ball up. We can't always have Fox on the ball because he's going to be guarded by the best perimeter defender of our opponent. And so him having to bring the ball every time and then make a play every time, that's taxing on anybody. So that means that Davion and Keegan are going to have to play big minutes for us during crunch time, and they're going to have to handle the ball and initiate the offense and try to get guys in the right spot and all that other stuff. So there are some challenges that we're going to have down the stretch, but they're all ones that we're looking forward to, and every time we step out on the floor, we're going to probably get a little bit better with it.
So part of the reason playing Fox more on fault too, I mean, it seemed like some of these longer teams are picking him up full court, making him work all the way to mid-court. Is that to alleviate some of that work too, so he can, have that energy late?
Yeah, and that's kind of just what I said, have him have the best perimeter defender guarding him. Now he's got to bring the ball up the floor, initiate the offense, sometimes make a play. You do that throughout the course of the game, and it's tough. And so to be able to get him off the ball some, have somebody else bring it up, have somebody else initiate it. Not only that, as the game gets later and the score is tighter, he's going to be taking a lot of shots, or he's going to at least be trying to get to a sweet spot to take a good shot or create an advantage for one of his teammates. And so to have other guys being able to touch the ball and then get them on the backside after moving the defense sometimes is a good thing for us as well.
With Sasha and Trey back, it seemed like, obviously from a spacing perspective, that helps, but even just the ball movement seemed like the ball was really popping. What stood out to you watching them out there?
They're veteran guys. We're a little bigger. When they weren't on the floor, we've been smaller. We've had to play Keegan and HB heavy minutes, especially against a team like Dallas. But the biggest thing is the flexibility that they bring to the table, our ability to offensive and defensive rebound, our ability to protect the paint a little bit more. It helps out, but and then like you said, those guys are good shooters. They have a great feel for the game. They've been around for a while, and they help with all those other little things that are staples offensively.
I know you said you need more from everybody, but
What's that?
you need more from everybody,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
on offense. But do you view this as an opportunity for Keegan to specifically take that step forward on offense and take more initiative?
Oh yeah, somebody told me one time that adversity leads to opportunity, and the reality of it is, I don't care what anybody says. We've hit some adversity, especially at this point of the season. To fighting for your playoff lives against a team in the Dallas Mavericks, who obviously I think they're 9-1 in their last 10. They're pretty good, and they probably have the league's MVP in Luka. And for us to be down technically 2 starters in Malik and Kevin, plus 2 guys, especially the way we play them, because it's no secret what we do, but the way we play them, to be down 2 rotational guys in Sasha and Trey, that's a big blow. And that's some adversity. But the reality of it is, it's leading to opportunity for others. Kessler stepped up and played well. Davion's minutes have gone up. Keegan has to step up. HB has to step up. And now we get Sasha and Trey back. We still have some things down the stretch that we have to figure out, and so it's going to lead for opportunities for others as well. So I'm all for this and making sure that we grow and learn the right way while trying to help our guys sooner than later. So going into these games, we don't get in a rut and miss opportunities like I felt we did against Dallas down the stretch.
With Keegan, obviously a lot this year has been kind of him finding his shot and pulling those threes when he's open and stuff like that. What type of challenge does it pose to him now with guys like Malik out to also kind of get others involved and distribute a little bit? Maybe something he's not totally used to. He talked about it a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, the same thing I said yesterday is Keegan's gotten to a point where he's finding ways to score from all 3 levels. So he's not just a 3-point shooter. He's been able to get to the rim. He's got a nice little pull-up game, and now he can shoot the 3, whether it's off the dribble or off the move. And because Malik and Kevin made the game easier for others with especially Kevin with his velocity or pace, Kevin with his ability to pass the ball as a second side handler, Malik his ability to score for himself or distribute the ball as a front line handler. You need other guys to understand, hey, if you have a good shot, take it if you're in rhythm, take it if you get to your sweet spot. But if somebody else has a great shot, we got to make the game easy for each one of us, and just go ahead and move that ball to go from good to great. And it's not just Keegan, but it's everybody, so that we can have a lot of guys involved and not just 1 or 2 guys involved in the scoring column at the end of the day, because we're not built that way.
Coach Fox has recorded 20 straight games with a steal. I believe he had 3 last night, a couple blocks as well. Just how important is it for him to be that impactful on both ends of the floor at this stretch of the season?
We need him to be impactful, especially defensively, because a lot of times he's the head of the snake. It's a little different with Keon in the lineup now. Usually Keon takes that guy on the perimeter, but Fox's ability to defend multiple guys on the perimeter is much needed, and his awareness on the weak side is something right now that we're continuing to work with. But his ability on the ball is second to none when he's engaged and when he wants to, and those opportunities lead usually lead to easy buckets for us going the other way. So it's much needed right now, especially with the guys we have out.